Good evening. My name is John Christmas, and this is the Unity Connection. It's sponsored by the Unity Temple, which is part of the Unity Church organization, and that's in Capitol Hill, 1555 Race Street. That's at Race and Colfax here in Denver. I'd like to welcome you to the show tonight. We really do appreciate you tuning in each week. I'm especially glad because I know that through people coming to the church and calling me that there's a lot of good feedback from the show. Also, we have people who are tuning in on the internet all over the country and possibly all over the world. And should you ever decide that you're away from Denver and you want to catch the show, that is at dctv.org. And when you tune into their website, they give you the instructions on how to watch their programming. And you can watch it no matter where you are as long as you're close to a computer. Tonight I'd like to talk about cultivating. And I'm going to talk about cultivating in the terms of the same way we would cultivate a garden. Because what we do every single day is cultivate the garden of our mind. And whatever we cultivate in our garden of our mind grows. It's guaranteed to grow. That's the law of the universe, that whatever you're putting out increases. And so when we start thinking about what we're cultivating, it makes me think about the Taoists. And the Taoists are real big on the cultivation of the heart and all the energy that you have in your heart, your feelings. And it's funny how it works. Whatever feelings you're having are the feelings that you're literally planting in your heart to grow and to become stronger. So it really does pay us to think about the feelings we're having. And most of us have a kaleidoscope, a huge range of feelings that we go through in our lives. And as we go through all these feelings, what we're doing is we're cultivating those feelings. We're cultivating what's in our heart. Usually our feelings, however, come from a thought system. Our feelings come from how we have trained ourselves to think. Now, if we're thinking in terms of opposites, then we're actually, as the Bible would say, we're eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. When you eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that is symbology, symbolizing how when you start taking sides in life, when you start taking sides with the good guys and the bad guys, what happens is you start cultivating that idea of good guys and bad guys, and usually everyone decides that they're a good guy. It's really funny. When I was growing up, I was raised in an area of Memphis, Tennessee called Frazier. And Frazier is a pretty rough neighborhood. It's one of the lower income areas of Memphis. And I can remember a lot of my friends in high school were petty thieves. And they rationalized their thievery with all types of good reasons, which made them the good guy. So something I've noticed about no matter who you talk to, they're the good guy, and there's the bad guy. And when we live in this ideology that there's good guys and bad guys, then we have to pay the price of that thought system. And usually the price of that thought system is you're going to have to fight evil. You have to fight against evil. You have to fight against the bad guys. And if that's what you feel led to do, then that must be what your path is calling you to do right now. But we know that the end result is for us to leave the idea of good guys and bad guys and move into that idea of there is love and a call for love. And it's hard to not recognize love and a call for love. Good guys and bad guys, it's kind of hard to tell all the time which one's who. Sometimes the good guys have to be bad guys. Sometimes the bad guys end up being good guys. We don't know about the outcome. I'm sure if we were talking about Nelson Mandela and we were in the South Africa during apartheid, Nelson Mandela would have probably been a bad guy, since he did go to jail and spend almost all of his life in prison, later to come out and be the president of that country, and then he's a good guy. So as you can see, the whole concept of good and evil, the right, the wrong, is something way beyond our comprehension. And if we can let go of that concept and move out of it, then we can start going into what we call seeing things as love or a call for love. And then as we see things as a call for love, then we can pray for that area. We can try to send love that area. So I'd like to challenge each and every one of you tonight. If you've got something in your life that it seems like you're on one side and somebody else is on the other side, I want you to try and experiment for the next 30 days. I want you to start sending those that seem to be, quote, your enemy. I want you to start sending them love. Now this may be anything. It could be your mate. If you're having problems with your mate, it could be your boss, it could be your government, it could be anything that you are personally in your heart and mind fighting against or trying to get them to change or see the errors of their ways. I'd like to challenge you not to stop doing that, but just give maybe 20 minutes a day of your time to sending them light, love, and support, praying that they have joy and happiness that comes from a loving God come into their experience. As Jesus said, pray for your enemies. And are you praying for your enemies? Are you praying for those that you seem to be out of accord with right now? I mean, actually, no matter what position you're in right now, you're playing out a divine plan that is coordinated with everyone's consent that's involved. That means that every single person in your life right now is playing their part in your happiness perfectly, including your enemies. What it all is designed to do is help us start focusing on something more than our separateness, our opposites. Where can we join and where do we join? And the greatest place to join that I have found is the present moment, because in the present moment we're all sharing it, like I went into last week. In the present moment we are all connected. In the future and the past we may not be all connected, but right now we are all connected. We're all experiencing life right now. Now, of course, for me, it happens to be about 20 minutes till 9. Somewhere else on the world, it's probably 24 hours at the most later or earlier. Who knows? The point is that if we got on a telephone, we could all talk with each other at one time, the right now time. And so as we start realizing that we're sharing this present moment, we realize this is the moment in which we have power to actually do something. We have power to start healing all the obstacles that seem to be presenting themselves in our life. Because in the present moment we can pray and we can send love and light to everyone involved in those situations, and they receive it in that present moment while you're saying those prayers. Now, what's the advantage of that other than the fact that it'll give you something to do other than fight against them? Well, I'll tell you, after you do this for 30 days, I promise you, you'll see drastic results in your challenges. You'll see them start dissolving. You'll see things happen that you never dreamed would happen. But that's not the only benefit, just seeing your personal challenges dissolve. There's another benefit. And the other benefit is it starts growing an idea in your heart and mind. And the more you send that light and love to those, quote, enemies, the more you cultivate this new idea of light and love that's growing in your heart and mind. Now, naturally, you're growing probably 2 different ideas in your heart and mind every single day of your life. You're probably growing the idea that you're a victim, that there's something getting hurt, that there are people are losing, that there are tragedies happening everywhere, that you have deep concern for it, and you may even decide you want to crusade against it. And I'm not telling you not to do anything your heart's leading you to do, but I am saying that whatever you're pursuing, you're also cultivating in your heart and mind. That's why it's so important as to watch over what it is that you want to think and feel about your existence every day here on this planet Earth. Because as you see yourself, that's the way it's going to be. Or as Jesus would say, as a man thinketh, so it is. So in other words, whatever you're thinking, that's what it is for you, and you're growing that in your garden of your life. And your life is your garden. If you're finding you're having lots of challenges and you're having a lot of things where you're getting upset, a lot of areas in your life where you're insisting on how it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to turn out, and unless it turns out that certain way, then you're not going to be happy and your job's not going to be accomplished. Well, chances are you're going to be disappointed. And through that disappointment, you're going to grow animosity in your heart and your mind, and you'll cultivate that. That's why I'm saying tonight it's so important to see what it is you're cultivating in your life. whatever it is, it's going to grow. And it's going to grow strong. And it's going to get big. And you may have already grown some pretty strong, gnarly weeds and thorns and thickets in that heart and mind of yours. But that doesn't mean that they have to take over. If you've not watched your garden very well, then chances are they have gone pretty wild and are really making a strong attempt at taking over your life. But remember, these are things you planted, and you planted them with the cooperation of others in your life. And now it's time to look and see how you like your garden. How do you like how it's growing? Is your life working for you? When I say working, I'm not talking about your rent's paid, you've got a retirement plan. No, when I'm talking about your life working, are you getting to be free every single day to allow yourself just to enjoy without a lot of pressure on yourself? Because all you out there that have a lot of pressure on yourself, of course, you've cultivated that. But if you do have all that pressure on yourself and you're feeling it, that's when you know that it's time for you to make a change so that you can relax, so that you can feel peace and comfort for a while. This is all by what our goals are. Goals are the most important things in our life. And I know you've heard about goals a lot from a lot of people, about setting goals, accomplishing goals. But if your goal that you're setting, that you're trying to accomplish, is not going to bring you peace of mind, it's not going to bring you a happiness and a contentment inside, and an appreciation and a gratitude for all that you see, then that goal, even if you accomplish it, which if you take the right steps you will accomplish it, it's not going to give you the results you're looking for. You see, you're looking for the same results as everybody else. We are not different. Every single person here on this earth has a result that they're trying to achieve out of what they're doing with their lives. And it's the exact same goal that you have, even if they're your enemy. Because everybody is doing what they think is going to make them happy. Everybody's doing what they think is going to bring them an experience that will accomplish the goal of making them feel safe. The trouble is, if the goal is something outside of ourselves, something of this world, about this world, around this world, then it's not going to give us that result. But nonetheless, that is the result we're wanting. We all want the same result. I want a new house. Why? The new house will make me feel safer, secure, more comfortable. So I'm really looking for an experience of safety, security, and comfort. And if I was to ask the universe and cultivate in my heart and mind ideas of comfort, safety, and security, then I would bring about situations and experiences in which I could have those experiences. But the problem that we have is we attach those experiences to form, then we ask for the form, but what we're really asking for is that experience that we think the form is going to bring.